B as in boy, download frequency 11975.5, V as in Victor. For those of you who haven't been in the room previously, I ask you all to please silence your phones. Please, you may shoot still photos, but no video, please, while in the room. Raise your hand. We'll call on you in the order that I see you. Wait for the microphone. Our microphone handlers are David and Gail. They will get the microphone to you. Before you ask your question, please identify yourself and your affiliation. Tom, Aaron, and Les are our stenography team. They will get the quotes out within minutes after the end of the press conference. Finally, when you're ready to ask your question, please identify yourself and your affiliation. We'll start with Coach Beard, and then we'll go into, that'll go to 105, and then we'll have the student athletes from 105 to 120. So as soon as Coach is ready, we'll be underway. Hammond, you guys ready? We're good to go? Okay. So, Coach, we're going to open up with a statement from you, and then we'll open up the floor to questions whenever you're ready.
And I'm just really excited to be here and coaching this team. I've never enjoyed coaching a team more than I have this one. We just simply stated don't want it to end. You know, we just want to go another day. We've enjoyed practice and traveling and film sessions and strength conditioning, just everything with these guys. That's kind of who we are, is just a team, guys that play for each other. So we are just really excited to be one of the 16 teams left standing. In terms of this game, we have so much respect for Michigan's program. You know, on behalf of everybody in our program, I'll speak for our players and staff. We just want to say how much respect we have. This is our third year building the program, and we'll often study other programs, whether it be something we saw on the news or in a magazine or read, or maybe even X's and O's, the end of a game. I can't tell you how many times the last 3 years we've talked about Michigan basketball with our guys, whether it be their defense, one of the best defenses in college basketball. We strive to be in that same conversation, which I think we are, or just their culture, their tradition, their fan base. So this is a game that we're excited to be a part of. And at the top of the reason for the list of why, it's our respect for Michigan. You know, lastly, with Coach, he's just somebody that I've always looked up to personally. I'm very proud of my background in small college basketball, whether it be NAIA or Division II or junior college. And obviously Coach is somebody that all of us look up to in coaching because of his experience and success at all the different levels. And I think as a young coach, people have pictures of Coach Lombardi or Coach Wooden up in their office, and I certainly respect those people too, but Coach Beeline's always been a guy that me and my circle of friends look up to because he's a guy that's coached at all different levels and proven, if you're a good coach, you're a good coach regardless of what level you're at. So we have a lot of respect for Michigan's program and Coach.
We're going to start in the third row here. I've got lots of hands up, so go ahead.
Yahoo Sports. I wondered if you could take me back to your time in Las Vegas when Texas Tech showed interest in you. How tough of a decision was that going to Tech, and can you kind of take me through what led you to leave?
Yeah, I'm going to respectfully decline on that. This is about Texas Tech, Michigan, and the Sweet 16. I think that I've been more than open about that decision. Nothing but respect for the people in Las Vegas and UNLV. But I'll respectfully decline on that today. Today's about Texas Tech. It's about us being in our second consecutive Sweet 16 and playing one of the best teams in the country tomorrow, a real national championship contender, Michigan.
We're going to go to the gentleman in the white and then behind him to the gentleman in the blue.
David Collier from the ABC in Lubbock. How you doing, Coach? I know you're not good with two, but I'm going to try to get them in anyway. First one, what do you remember from the first meeting that you had as an assistant at Texas Tech back in 2005 against Beeline in West Virginia? And second question, what scares you about this Michigan team most?
Was an assistant for Coach Knight and Pat at Texas Tech. Really proud of my association, my time there as an assistant, here as an assistant. That was a Sweet 16 game in Albuquerque, in the historic Pitt. It was a great game. West Virginia, Pitt Snoggle. I still have bad dreams about him from time to time. Defense for that guy was not letting him get the ball because once he got it, it was going in. But my recollection, it was about a one-possession game, and we were playing offense in front of our bench in the last possession of the game, and we got like 2 or 3 tips at the ball that I think either would have sent the game to overtime or maybe given us the victory. Ball didn't quite go in. West Virginia secured the rebound. But they were really well coached as they are today. That's a game, although I don't like the outcome, thinking back, it was kind of special, a Sweet 16 game. We have 2 of those guys on our staff right now as graduate assistants, our players, Ronald Ross and Daryl Dora, both played in that game. Second part of the question, what concerns me or scares me about Michigan? Everything, starts with their Hall of Fame coach. Simply stated, this team doesn't beat themselves. If you're going to beat Michigan, you got to go beat them. You got to go score more points than them. And so we understand that. We'll have to play our cleanest game of the year. We'll have to play our best 40 minutes. But that's what this time of year is. This game is no different than any other ones around. As you advance in the tournament, you got to eventually play your best game to play on Monday night. So this is the next step for us. A lot easier to talk about than do. Michigan has great talent, in my opinion. Several NBA players, got great size, great guard play. They're really, really good. Best defensive team maybe we played all year, and an offensive balance that really concerns us. But we'll have to play really well.
In the blue, and then we'll go to the middle here.
Brian Bush, Michigan Radio Network. Coach, you mentioned studying Michigan. A lot externally has been made about 2 of the top defenses in the country. So what do you see as similarities and differences between your defense and Michigan's?
Well, I'll say this about Michigan, and I hope that people have the same view about us, but that's just be my opinion. But when I think of Michigan, I think, again, of discipline. They don't beat themselves. They're a low turnover team. I think they have fewest turnovers of anybody in Division I this year, around 9 a game. That means you're not beating yourself. On the defensive end, it's very hard to get easy baskets against them because of their scheme, their players, their discipline. They have size, they have athleticism. So I would hope that people, when they talk about Texas Tech, they also recognize that we try to make it hard for the opponent to score and that we try to, value the ball and get shots as well.
We're going to go right here in the middle, please.
Hi, Coach. Eddie Pels from AP. You've been famously quoted as saying, guys like you get one chance. And I was wondering, now that you've had some success, do you still feel there's something creeping over your shoulder all the time? And how do you pass that message on to your players?
Absolutely. I wake up every day feeling like the underdog, that I got something to prove. I set 3 alarms to make sure that I was 5 minutes early today to video to set that standard for our players. I had the cell phone. I had one of my daughters call me, and then I had the alarm set in the hotel, which I hadn't done that in a long time. Those things are tricky, man. Got the cords going in and out of them. Bluetooth. Yeah, I'm always trying to act like I belong, and I think that's just me. And how I keep those players kind of feeling the same way. It's just who we are. We've got really good players, but we don't have any McDonald's All-Americans. We don't have anybody on our team that's been given anything. Jared Culver's worked for everything he's gotten. And I can say that about every one of our players. So it's just who we are. It's not some kind of motivational game ploy. We believe it. We got a chip on our shoulder. We weren't supposed to be here. They picked us bottom half or last in our league. Even today, we see people around the country calling out, that Buffalo was going to beat us, this and that. So we respect everybody's opinion, but we fear no one. And we're here to try to play our best game of the year, and we're here to try to advance. And we understand how hard this is going to be because Michigan is really, really good. But we have a lot of confidence in ourselves, too.
All the way in the back corner, please.
Coach, Reed Forgrave with CBS Sports HQ. I'd love as expansive as an answer as you care to give it for this. I'm curious, when you first saw Jared Culver play, what jumped out to you about him, and how it has been that he's made this progress to a point where a lot of us talk about him as a lottery pick.
Yeah, I saw Jared early on in his career. Obviously, with my time in Lubbock, knew of Culver and my background in the state of Texas. So I think when we were at Angelo State in Little Rock, Culver was coming up. Obviously saw him on the circuit when I was a coach at Arkansas Little Rock, but we weren't going to be able to recruit somebody of his, his status, but watched him play in some games. The very first thing we did when we got to Texas Tech, he was the first phone call we made. And so it wasn't some kind of great eval. I mean, the guy's got length and athleticism, can score on all 3 levels, and got great character. So I've known about Culver for a long time. He was our first call, and just really proud of him, making history. I remember our very first talk with Culver. I was like, look, you're going to be able to go to a lot of different places and be a part of history. But why don't you think about staying home and come to Texas Tech and we'll make history? And I think that's exactly what he's done. 1,000-point score in 2 years, Big 12 Player of the Year. Has helped this team get to 2 straight NCAA tournaments. First time in Tech history, back-to-back Sweet 16s. So I think you got to give Jared a lot of credit for being one of our best players.
All right, any further questions? Final call. All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
All right, we'll be back at it at 1:05 with student athletes from Texas Tech. As a reminder, the locker room is open. If you wish to speak to someone who's not going to be up here on the table, you can go to the locker room right now, which is on this side of the building. All right, we're about ready to get underway with Texas Tech student athletes. We have Brandon Francis, Tariq Owens, Lorenz Odiasi, and Matt Mooney. We'll open up to questions from the floor just as soon as we get everybody settled. I see a couple late runners coming in, possibly. Nope, they're going out the other door. All right, so if everybody's ready, start with questions. Don't everybody raise your hand at once. Go ahead, right there.
Brian Bush, Michigan Radio Network, for all you guys, but Matt, I'll start with you. Just what stands out about Michigan? Coach Beard talked about the fact that you guys in meetings have sometimes referenced Michigan as a team to look at as you build your program. So what stands out about the Wolverines?
Yeah, we think Michigan is probably the best team we played all year, up there with Duke and top teams in the Big 12, Kansas State. You know, they're really well coached. Obviously, Coach Beilein, great coach. You know, we've heard that it's a number 1 and number 2 defenses going at it. So, you know, and they're experienced. They went to a national championship last year, so they got a really good mix of guys, length, athleticism, size. So they're a real good team, really balanced.
Lorenz.
They're a top program, blue blood type program. Always get to this level. They always play in the postseason. Our program looks after their program in that aspect. They're great, well coached guys that have been on this stage before, not scared of this moment, and we just got to be ready to play them when we play them tomorrow.
Tariq, you want to talk about that at all, or have we covered it?
Yeah, they pretty much covered everything.
Okay. All right, we're going to go to Mark Wicker in the very back, please.
Yeah, Mark Wicker, Orange County Register. I wanted to ask Tariq and Matt about Coach Beard, and you know, you hear it, but he is very, very detail-oriented. He comes up with details that maybe you guys maybe had not even thought about at the previous schools that you were at. What would be an example of something that he came up with as a detail that you were surprised that he came up with?
I can't really recall anything specific right now, but no, you're right. Coach Beard, you know, he has all like the random stats and the little details that in my experience at other schools we didn't really point out. They didn't really factor in as major details, but to Coach Beard in this program, you know, every little thing helps. So I've come to enjoy it. I enjoy the information. I like how they give us so much. Personally, it's cool for me.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very detailed person. You know, Coach Beard, he's a different breed. You know, he's a killer. But one of the details that I can think of is free throws, for example. We all have different like keys that we have to focus on when we step up to the free throw line. So in practice, like we'll step up to the free throw line, and one of our GAs has to memorize like everybody's key. So every time I step up to the free throw line, it's hand under the ball, finish on your toes, and everybody's got something different. And like in our locker room, in the bathroom, they got like the sheet posted above the urinals that has everybody's free throw keys. So like even when you're in the bathroom, you seeing that like in your head, like, okay, these are my keys when I step up to the free throw line. So just things like that.
Brandon, you want to say anything? You've been awfully quiet down there. No, you're good? All right. In the very back corner, please.
Yeah, for Tariq,
Could you identify yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm just about to. Reed Forgrave, CBS Sports HQ. Tariq, you've really blossomed on the defensive end, especially under Coach Beard, and I'm curious what sets his approach apart from other college coaches you've had, specifically on the defensive end. What's different about him?
Our process. You know, we have our own workouts that we schedule. We make on our own time. And during my workouts, I mean, I work on it every single day. We have GAs who are short and quick and really explosive and fast, and I guard them every day. We play one-on-one. I work on closeout situations, switches, things like that. So I improved because we worked on it. We do it every single day. So and I really enjoy that about this program. Everybody has things that we need to work on, and our coaching staff, instead of just telling us we need to work on them, they put plans in place for us to work on them. So, you know, and I really enjoyed that about this program.
You want to follow up? Go ahead.
I'm curious just about the specifics. Like, what specific plan is like one thing that the coaching staff put in place to bring your defense to this next level?
Like I just said, just defensively in my workouts, I'll work on switching ball screens and just sit down and guarding some of our people off ball screens. That's just one thing.
Right there in the Michigan shirt.
Brian Bush, Michigan Radio Network. For the three of you who have transferred, who didn't start your career here, what is it about Coach Beard and this program that drew you here, and how has he been able to acclimate what was a program that had 5 seniors leave last year, and some of you guys have been here just 1 year, a couple years. What is it about it that you guys are able to become, a team as quickly as you guys are and be a successful one at that?
Matt, why don't you start, and we'll just work our way down the table.
Okay. Yeah, I actually remember Coach Beard's team at Arkansas Little Rock. I remember their story. I think they had 10 new players, and he brought them to the tournament his first year there, and they beat Purdue in the first round. So when he was recruiting me, I knew he had experience with new guys and having success right away. So that was something that played a factor for me. He's just really good at, right when I first got here, he just made me, feel included and confident right away. He told the guys, he talked me up a little bit in front of the guys, and, he's real good at putting guys in the right positions and just making you feel like, you're part of the team right away.
Next.
We just do so much stuff together. As a team, off the floor, we do a lot of things together. Just get together, hang out with each other. We all live right next to each other, so it's very easy for us to be around each other. We spend a lot of time together in the gym, putting up extra shots together on our own time. So, it's very easy when we spend that much time together, to build a chemistry, and it happened pretty quickly.
Anyone else?
For me, when I first got to Lubbock, it was, a new beginning, but if I could make the shows all over again, I would. I got my joy back for the game. I met a lot of great people. I got better on and off the floor. And I really just started having fun when I first got to Texas Tech. And, I always be thankful for that. Continue to write the story, just trying to finish strong.
All right, any further questions for the student athletes? Final call. All right, thank you, gentlemen. All right, we will be back at 2:05 with student athletes from Michigan, followed at 2:20 by Coach Beeline from Michigan.